Sofia Baccarat, and welcome to Coming Home to Her. I have a very special guest with me here today.
Hi.
Nani, my stepsister. And she popped over for the weekend very spontaneously, actually. I think you booked your ticket last week, Sunday, exactly.
Yeah, she was like, do you want to come? And I booked my ticket, so.
And now she's here. And we made an episode together. I think it was my second episode I ever posted, where we just talked and yapped for like an hour. I don't honestly know what we spoke about, but I remember, or we remember specifically, that we definitely wanted to talk about kind of situationships and modern dating again at some point. And so I asked her last night if she wanted to do this because...
Of course I want to do this.
I need content as well.
Yeah, I want to do this because,
Why
I'm
not?
Traumatized.
No.
I'm just kidding, but dating is a subject that we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely been something that is not relevant in my life anymore, bless. But when it was, the world and realm of dating is definitely something that I wouldn't say is easy. Honestly, it sucks. And that's just what I hear from all my friends who are single or, you know.
Men and women.
Men and women, literally men and women. Yeah. And it's so funny. We had a phone call interrupt us, but we're back.
Yeah, sorry.
And we were saying how, I mean, obviously modern dating and like the topic of dating is something that is super popular in the century we live in, and especially like Nani's turning 30 this year, I'm 25, like this kind of age between, let's say, 20 to 40. I mean, I don't really know how the dating life gets post 40, but nonetheless, you know, just kind of how that is. And it's not only a struggle for women, but also with my male friends, just kind of hearing how that is, etc. I think also like whoever's meant for you is meant for you, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit different between men and women. I feel like men are not maybe as pressed as women sometimes. Yeah. They're more taking their time. They're like, oh, I can have a kid at 40. Easy. We have the clock. Biological clock for the ones, girlies that want some kids. Yeah, I don't know. Kids also, it's a big subject. Like kids, no kids, marriage, no marriage, boyfriend, situationship. It's a bit of a mess sometimes.
I think it's something that is obviously, like, if I can speak as a woman for myself, you were saying biological clock, there's obviously this like pressure and this kind of anxiety of wanting to be in a relationship. I know in another episode I talked about like feeling behind and kind of how everyone around you is doing different things and stuff. But even in dating you know, I have some friends who are in their early 30s and are single, and they're like, I am so, you know, like I need to find a partner. Yeah. And even guys, I mean, I don't know. Actually, no, I know a few guys who are single in their 30s. And they also are, it seems more chill in the aspect that they're kind of like, when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I think that's how us women also kind of need to be. But there's so much more anxiety around it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I feel, as I said, men, they have a bit more time. And I feel as a woman, I didn't want kids or marriage for a very long time. Yeah. And then, I don't know, I got older and it just became like very important. But also I'm very career driven. So I feel like my career will always go before and my friends, because I have amazing friends and I'm not scared to be alone. But yeah, it's just like, when you're like 30 and you're like, well, a lot of my friends are like engaged or are starting to think about kids, and like I'm here, I'm by myself, or you know, maybe you have situationships or stuff like this, and you can be in situationship for like years and just and then you're like, well, I love this man or like, this woman. What are we? And they're like, I don't know if I'm ready. Like, you know, just being in your comfort, you know, I guess. And also as a woman, I feel like the fact that we like, you know, are like kind of like want to have children and stuff like this, you're looking also for a good father.
Very important.
Some red flags are okay if you're just in a relationship, like, or a situationship, but some of them are like, ooh, I don't want this person to be the father of my kids.
No, but I think I would hope that someone had like the emotional sensibility to be like, absolutely not. Like, I mean, I have seen with friends that having a child with someone who is not solid can really completely your life up.
Yeah, I've seen
I don't
some,
say that lightly.
Yeah, I see some people, some people just are not meant to have kids.
No.
They, and a lot, I feel like, that's just my opinion, but I feel like a lot of men are not ready to have kids until very much later.
Yeah,
But and once they are, they want engagement, ring, kids, like they're ready. You know,
this reminds me of, I don't know where I read this, but I remember hearing this years ago, but a man, maybe, this was just something I read, but it said that studies have shown that men don't marry the love of their life.
Yeah.
They marry the woman that was there in their life when they were ready.
Exactly.
And
we should be inspired by that as women.
Yeah. I think it's just like a really kind of like messed up concept in one way. Obviously, like, I don't think, I would hope not that someone doesn't get married and have children with someone that they don't necessarily love or, have romantic feelings for. But I have also seen that. But where us as women are way more emotionally attached. And so going back to situationships, being in situationships and you're in this state of limerence, it's called, where you are so infatuated by the idea of the person or, how they are with you that it's not real, like in that sense, because you are like making up kind of a perfect scenario. And I know us as women, we tend to dream and fantasize of how it could be and kind of have like everything planned out in our heads, which is also really toxic for the mental health.
It is. We have to chill, I feel like, but I don't know. There is some people, I don't know which one you are personally, but like some people had more situationships than relationships, and some people are like serial daters, which I do not understand. Like, I could never like just be in relationships like over and over again.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
so weird. I was in a relationship for like 7 years. I talked about this last year. Last year.
It was last year.
It was last year.
It was November.
Yeah, it was last year. But it was a very long relationship. Almost 7 years, like 6 years and a half, whatever. And then after that, I was like, there's no way. When I have some friends that are like always in a relationship, even though it's like 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, like they're always in serious relationships. And I'm like, oh, I would rather just like flirt and be in like situationships, not even situationships, just like casual, like, hey, how are you? Yeah. Let's have a drink.
True.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some people like to like.
But some people are like that, and that's also totally fine. I think personally, I just don't have the mental energy for that. Like, I don't care enough.
Yeah, I think I really love being with myself so much that someone in my life is more of a disturbance than something else. Unless
that's not true.
I love this person and they, make me feel good, which I had in my life, and it's just. Yeah, it's really nice when you find that person where you're like, ooh, I want you to stick around. And like, it's funny. You don't know what's next. Like, that's nice. I like it. But also sometimes you're like, oh, I want to get married and want to have kids. And then you get super paranoid and you're like, I need to settle down.
That brings us, I think, to a good point of red flags. Like when you're in situationships, I talked to a friend maybe like a month and a half ago about this. And she was just saying to me that she had been dating this guy for a couple months and it kind of got to the point where she was like,
what are we?
Why? Where is this going? Or, and obviously like
the ultimate question.
Yeah. And she had gotten, more, let's say, emotionally invested into him or kind of fell in love with the idea, and how at the end of the day, they ended up breaking it off because it was just like he could not commit. And I think that's something, if I can give any kind of dating advice, would be to don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because, no offense, but like if you're dating for more than 2 months and he's not like wanting to be your boyfriend, he's never going to want to be.
Exactly. I believe with...
And that's what I believe. But
I believe in obsession. Like I believe in I'm sorry. Hot take. Like... Every single man that has wanted to pursue me seriously were like obsessed with me and told me like instantly. But I had also the case where I had like love bombing. But it's a bit different. It's a bit different because I feel like love bombing, they're very, very hardcore in the beginning, but like
it fades away.
it fades
Because
away.
it's not real.
Like all the guys I had that were like, I really want something serious with you, have been very consistent from day one, from like texting phase to like, you know, getting like a bit serious, your first dates to like, they were very consistent all the time. And so, yeah, I feel like you can see some sign, but for me, if he's not obsessed with you, he's not your husband. That's it. Like I feel like when a man is in love, he's truly in love, and he really like shows it. And he's really like, you're the one. I feel I've seen like all my friends that are like been in relationships like for like so many. I have a friend, she has been in a relationship for like 11 years and met her boyfriend at school, and he was like, she's my wife. And he was like, I don't even know how old he was. He was maybe like 16 or 17. And he's like, she's my wife. And I feel like this is how like some like almost most men are, because if they don't want to settle, they don't want to settle. Like it's pretty obvious.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like a choice. And I mean, there are those guys, just like women, I mean, girls as well. I see it with some of my serial dating friends who just keep people in their back pocket.
Yeah,
women or
I
men.
hate that.
It's just easy and it sucks. I've seen people like on the other side of it where it's like this hope that you obsess with a person, like you're in this like state of limerence and you're you're thinking about it every day all the time and you know, wanting their attention, but they obviously like don't care.
Exactly. And it's how to break off something that's overall good. There is no problem. The only problem is like they don't want to commit.
But I think that's also where you kind of have to like retract to yourself and you know, like make a boundary for yourself and have more self-respect, which is hard obviously when you like someone or you're infatuated. You like can't see really anything around it. But I have a friend who is so good. She's harsh, but I love it. Like she is like no. And I always tell her that I have so much respect for her of how she dates, because she does not put up with anything. And maybe that is extreme sometimes, depending on who, you know, whatever. I have no opinion in this. But I really respect how she is. Yeah, she has very good boundaries.
She will find a man that will respect this. And that will be like, wow.
And that's what she says. She's always like, you know, whenever I meet my future partner, like he will have to respect this from the beginning. And she says that the way she filters dates is immediately from the start, because she's not going to, like, if they're not going to put up with it of respecting her, you know, self-respect, then they're obviously already for the trash.
As she should.
As she should.
Yeah, for real.
But I do think it's important to, definitely put like a boundary over yourself, because you're wasting your time. I really believe that, you know, the right person is out there for you. And I mean, how many times have you met a guy who is, let's say, I don't want to say perfect, but like good. Yeah. Everything is working, but you have an ick. And you're just like, I can't explain it. He's a great person. He deserves the best, but I cannot see that.
It's not even an ick. It's like a gut feeling of like, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, even though like I had very perfect, like, wow, flowers, trips, like so nice and comforting. It was just not it. I knew it was not it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
a hard one. I think it's also like a internal breakup. I mean, I've seen it with a friend of mine in the last year, but with a few of my friends who just broke up with their partners. But they knew, very sad. Very scary, yeah. But they broke up mentally like 6 months before they actually broke up. Like they were already kind of mentally checked out. And I know that's how you were as well. Yeah,
I feel it's like women were like this.
Yeah, like, but you don't really, I don't know, you can't really do it immediately, perhaps impulsively, but it's like something that's like building inside of you until the bomb explodes. But but I also think relationships are really challenging. Like every relationship is so complex, and I really believe at the end of the day, like no one is going to have a perfect partnership. And I actually saw this not too long ago somewhere on the internet, that when you are, I think it was like a relationship psychologist, something podcast that I listened to, whatever. And he said that it's super fascinating to see, and people don't realize that when they're in a relationship and let's say that things start boiling and you're having problems and stuff, you, let's say, impulsively break up because you're like, we're not compatible, it's not going to work. But then the next relationship you get into, the same problems start showing up. And it's not about the person, but it's like about working through the challenges that you're dealing with and with the person.
Yeah.
And I also think that dating and relationships are a big mirror for yourself. Like, why are you attracting losers or like inconsistent, non-committal people, you know?
Yeah, I think when it's like this, it's a you problem. And I had this for years where I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Like everything's going to change. It was a me problem. It was a respect problem. It was a self-love problem. It was like not taking care of myself, not putting myself first. And like lying to myself and being in denial. Like if someone was like, I'm not interested, I'd be like, oh, but like maybe, like, no, you can't change people.
Yeah.
They just are who they are. And you have to accept if someone tells you I'm not ready to commit, you have to be like, okay, do I see this person and I know he's not ready to commit? Or do I not see this person and go off my way, even though it's really hard to say goodbye to really good things. But
True.
yeah, it's like, I just now is like I've been more relying on red flags. So like my red flags are like same. It's like this guy who's like 36, 40, or like in this like later 30s, because I I feel like I'm more like 30, 35, 33.
You're also turning 30, so it's normal.
Yeah, but like I've always been like, even when I was like 25, I feel like it would be like I was in a relationship, but I would be more like, ooh, like cute, and this person would be like 35, 40, whatever, like older man. But it's like you are like well in your career, you're kind of advanced in life, you're at the age where you're supposed to have kids, and all you want to do is like go out, be with your friends, and have multiple like partners and just do this all your life. I won't judge it. It's a way of life.
Also like a lack of maturity.
But this is, I would say, like red flags can be like green flags for other people, you know. But
true.
for me, what I'm looking for, if you're looking for stability, if you're looking for marriage, if you're looking for like a partner who you can trust and everything, like the whole like
something where someone your partner chooses you.
Exactly. So this is my red flag. Like you're in like 35, 40.
Like Playboy.
And like you're like, I believe like it's just, for me, is like you're self-conscious and you want to make sure that people are still attracted to you.
The one thing I don't understand, I mean, it exists everywhere, but in my opinion, it's very prevalent in certain cultures. Like, for example, Brazilian men.
I don't know Brazilian men.
Yeah, no offense. There's great one and there's bad one. Like, you know, there's good and bad everywhere, but I think it's a cultural thing to maybe like the French stereotypically have like many lovers. And when I see people in relationships where they're like going out and cheating on their partners and like blah, blah, blah to other people, I'm like, why?
Just break up.
But obviously it's like the, you know, perhaps an insecurity, or even just like they don't know how to be alone, so they have like the comfort of it in the back of their pockets. But then when they want to be like young, wild, and free and pretend like they're single, then they can do so. But I think like if you're in that situation, why the would you want to be with someone?
You have free will, but like some people, they like I know a lot of people that have been in a relationship for like maybe like 11, 12, 13 years, cheating every weekend.
Yeah, it's so fucked.
But when they have problems, when they're in the deepest lows and stuff like this, the only person they want to talk to is their partner. But I feel like it's just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's so disrespectful. And for me, it's very self-centered to just like have someone in your back pocket that has always been there for you, and you just go out and cheat. And like I have something to say, is that I'm French, born and raised in Paris. French people are cheaters.
Brazilians,
they're non-committers. Cheaters. And I'm not talking about experience, I'm talking about general observation.
I'm just like a cultural scenario.
And but you know, French culture is a lot about flirting. Like Parisian, we dress very like sexy, flirting bars. Like we're a very flirty people in general. So there's like this culture, like men will always hit on you at the bar and things like that. So yeah, we are a bit of red flags. Men and women, may I say, men and women.
The French.
Yeah, men and women, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. Cheating, dishonesty, no respect.
I also think that like that goes kind of into dating apps in one aspect or another because, for example, obviously, like when I was on the apps,
yeah,
you have so many options. Like you are swiping, you judge people so, you know, instantly of just what they look like, what they've written, or their photos, etc. And I hate this prejudgment that you have naturally that like you can't get rid of, and like you analyze every single word that they say. If it's weird, you know, too much, ick, whatever it may be. And I think that's also where there is such a, let's say, a divide in modern dating right now, because you have all these options to look at people literally from all over the world. And the first, you know, you look for key indicators such as, are they successful? Are they handsome? Are they, you know, all these, let's say, materialistic points that you don't know, one. And two, it's like, there's so many options. So you're constantly thinking like, there's something better out there. Or, you know, I'm going to meet someone that's more handsome or taller or more beautiful. And maybe you don't really realize or take in consideration like their values, where I think that's where like dating at the end of the day is where the success is, you know, in a healthy manner. Obviously, like if you have problems, like that's going to show up as well in your relationship. But if you're trying to be like mentally like stable and coherent and successful almost within your dating, it's like you have to get rid of these like taboos and like, I don't know. I think that's where dating is really difficult because no one wants to commit as they think there's always something better out there. But it's a choice.
Don't know what's the right like solution. Like
I think meeting people in real life is
so many things. I had friends meet their boyfriends in the club. Like my 6.5 years relationship, I met him. He was in a friend group, and the first time I met him, and I kissed him, we were in a beach club. We were drunk. He was like on the floor and like. You know, like, and some people just like meet organically, friends of friends, and it's super cute and wholesome. I mean, you met
on your 28th birthday.
Yeah, in a like kind of, it was not a club.
Not a nightclub, but it was a party.
It was like a huge like industrial site with music, whatever. It was
indoor botanical garden.
Funniest birthday I had, by the way. It was so cool. But like it's so you can meet people everywhere. But yeah, I don't know. You have to identify like the red flags. They come really, really soon. Like I feel like in the first conversation, you can already know like the red flags, and the green flags for me is so much about consistency.
But I think that's also, if I can speak for myself,
of course. Come on.
But when you're single for a very long time, and then you are so used to all these like inconsistent things that you also perhaps get used to, because it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of like it is. It's a pattern. Like I've seen this in every single person I've gone on a date with or have met in, let's say, more of a interested romantic situation, that the moment that healthy consistency comes along, it kind of freaks you out because you're so uncomfortable almost by something that you have not, like it's not a norm in what you have experienced for X amount of time, that it kind of freaks you out and you want to run away because it's so different. And I remember telling myself like, I know this is like right internally, but it was really, took me a moment to like move my kind of, you know, like perspective, because it's,
and you have to get used to it. Like
it is. You're kind of like, wow, like this person is calling me.
You have to get used to it, like attention and being nice and the flowers. And you're like, oh my God, I'm a bit traumatized about like family relationships and stuff. And when it's healthy and when it's nice and when it's peaceful, peaceful is very hard for me. Like,
but I think that's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, like, you know, like laying down and having no work to do and just being like, whoa, like I don't have to do all of that. Like peaceful is like what's gonna happen. Like I'm always ready for something to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a me problem. As I said, like sometimes relationships don't really work because you have like trauma or you have some
Yeah,
stuff that you don't
internal.
know how to go through. And you have to really be good in yourself to be good to others and just make like this dynamic work, because it's like even in friendships, and I talk about a lot with another of my best friend. Her name is Mia and she's amazing, and we always talk about like being soulmates as friends, and like everything that we do for your friends that have been there since the beginning, before the boys, before the dating, before everything. And like just a friendship, you have to nourish it. A relationship, you have to nourish it. And you, if you feel bad, you're not going to be a good friend or
No, and
a good partner. So for me, it really works. Like I understood that super late, that you have to be good in yourself to be good with someone.
facts.
And even with your family dynamics.
Yeah, like all forms of relationships.
Yeah. And one thing I saw a lot with myself and with friends is like, some things, and we talked about it yesterday, some things that you're anxious about might never happen.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think in relationship, you're like, oh my God, so maybe this is going to happen and we're going to date and like this and like that. And now I'm just like trying to live in the moment, even though it's so hard, and be like, okay.
We were talking about this about maybe for the male mind. I think the male mind is more simple in that sense, where they don't like have so much futuristic anxiety. But even speaking...
Girl, I'm like, whoa. No. They're so simple.
So simple. I actually admire it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, can I just like learn how to chill?
Sometimes I'm like, do you not think about the future? And, you know, my friends are like, no, but I would love to eat a kebab right now. You know, they're just like, they're just in the moment. They're here to like live their life.
I think that's a really good like reminder sometimes for, you know, like the girls around.
Yeah, but we're nesting. That's why we're girls. We're like preparing for future. We build foundations. I feel like it's very biological. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Women, they build, they like to have a base. They're organized. We like are nesting. Literally, we're like building like, I think
a little home.
We're biologically, we're made for this. And I really believe in like science and like natural evolution and stuff like this. So, and I really like the patterns I have and how I want to build something for myself or for the future kids that I will have.
Yeah.
And men are more like, you know, reproduction.
Yeah. I guess it also like depends on
protect
the guy in that sense, you know, too. But there definitely is a lot of like, let's say, I would say anxiety also with not only dating, but also being in relationships and stuff of like, what's going to happen? How is my life going to look in 5 years? And like I told you yesterday, my brother said something very wise. And he was like, yeah, what you said, like a lot of the stuff that you're anxious about is probably never going to happen. And your life is going to be 1,000 times different. And I think that also just goes back into, even if I think about my life 5 years ago, I would have never thought that what I'm doing right now was what's going to happen.
Your life changed in like a year. Like completely.
Yeah.
365. Like,
yeah, that was great.
Incredible. But yeah, for sure. Like the anxiety of what you expect about a person or just seeing the nice parts and just be hoping for like this person to get better or to, I don't know, or things to get worse also. Like
that reminds me of something.
Up. Yeah.
I think I believe honestly, another thing that's really important in like the world of dating is to know that you cannot change someone.
No,
because
never.
No,
don't try, girls. Don't.
Because I've seen it honestly many times, and also for myself. Like when you are dating and you're like, oh, like this person is like this, or you know, they're gonna change, and they don't.
No,
especially. I believe, honestly, as people get older as well, a man who's 55 is not going to change.
Oh, no.
And at the end of the day, if they want to change, it's something they have to do for themselves. And, you know, I would hope also in a relationship that each partner wants to be a better person and will take inspiration and admiration from their relationship and their partner to be better. There's always going to be like things that, you know, no one is perfect. And
of course,
every relationship is never going to be perfect. But like being able to look at dating or the person you're starting to date or just have gotten in a relationship with a more, let's say, selfless respect of just kind of being like, okay, this is how you are. This is how I am. How can we like work through these things? If, for example, you clean the table with a dish rag, and I absolutely hate that. And I tell you, can you please not do that? It's meant to clean
She's been
dishes.
a little
I am a little OCD.
annoyed with that this morning.
No, I'm not annoyed. I'm just like super clean freak.
It's fine. But yeah, also do not change for the person you're with. Be as natural as you can, because you're gonna like my ex was like, oh, I did this for you, and like I started to do this for you, and like, do you think I like that because I did that for you? Like, I'm like,
it's fucked up.
I never asked you to do this, and like you have to be yourself, honestly, and like, but in everything, like you really, really have to be yourself, and don't change for people, because you're gonna be like, oh, I did this for them, I did this, and
it creates resentment.
It's terrible. You feel terrible, they feel terrible. Like, just find the person that matches you, and just go with it, because it's gonna be.
That's another thing about dating, is going with the flow, learning, and knowing your boundary of being like, okay, this is not going to go anywhere. If it hasn't now, it's never going to, and so I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And also really trying to have more green flags in the person you're dating.
Yeah,
please.
I think it's not worth it to just
absolutely not
attach yourself to someone. I mean,
and the whole realm of like the toxicity is something that is gonna you up so bad in the long run.
Yeah.
And I hate when people are like, I love toxic. I'm like, well, you have problems.
Yeah, but some people grew up in like really toxic environments.
Most definitely, but that's something that you have to be self-aware of enough about to change, because you don't, hopefully, if you grew up in a toxic environment or have been in toxic situations, you have hopefully learned that it doesn't bring you anything good in your life, and that you want to break out of this pattern, and that's something people have done and can do. It's a choice.
I feel like I broke out of a lot of my patterns and everything I had going on before. I'm a bit like brutal sometimes, but with the wrong people, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I love this person. And it's the toxiest, like toxic man that, it's always the wrong people. But I guess my worst dating story.
Also getting catfished.
Have
you ever
had someone?
That's your question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been catfished?
I have been catfished. Love bombed. Like, oh my God, this feels so special. Like, meeting someone on dating apps and just being like talking. I was like, at the time I was traveling, I don't remember where, and I was talking to this person like on the phone. I was like, oh my God, that's so romantic, blah, blah, blah. And the pictures were like from years ago. And he comes to pick me up at the airport, flowers, champagne.
Oh my God, I know who this is in my head.
I was like, first of all, 20 centimeters less than he said. I'm like, I'm a tall girl. Okay. I was like, whoa, like super, like, like smaller, frail, like, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong about this. Just
in the moment.
Not my like type. And very insistent, like, oh, like, let me take your luggage upstairs, like, let me like buy you dinner, let me like, and then I had to be like, I'm so sorry, like, you don't look like your pictures, like, I'm so sorry. And yeah, that was my catfish experience, pretty bad. But yeah, and my worst dating experience, I guess, is like very long situationships, is like saying, like, he's saying I love you, like, looking at apartments, together, like being like wow.
Like a mentally, like they're sick.
No, that's crazy. And
it's like a mental, no one, like, that's not normal.
I had men telling me I love you so much in my eyes, like very intimate.
Especially in French, that's like, you don't do that.
And ghost me like 2 weeks later. Yes. I've had that happen to me. And I'm like, why would you do this? Like, if you're not like an evil psychopath, I don't know. I'm just like, maybe I'm dramatic, but
also I think, but
I just think it's crazy.
I think when you do go through rough dating situations, or even post breakup, and you like your ex partner gets like really psychotic.
Wow.
It, I think, is really the universe saving you from something that you should have not been a part of for whatever reason. And like, thank gosh, it didn't work out. Because you don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm not that type of girl that just goes in and stays in a bad relationship, because I've seen some girls having kids and being with like the wrong guy, you know, and staying like just out of comfort. Or
Yeah.
sometimes it's like financial stability. Like they had kids, they don't work, they need to stay with the guy. Like, thank God I'm in a very good situation and I have the choice to like.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, it's important to have your own choice.
For sure. I always want to have my
You
independence.
cannot depend your whole life on someone else, because that can be taken away from you in 1 second.
Exactly. And I really like see some people like I knew some people that were together for like 10, 11 years, same thing, and just break up from one day to the other. They had the house, they had the dog, they had, and also it can be like 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And one day it just vanished. Like how many people divorce these days? I think in France there was a number like 58% of couples divorce. And I'm like, whoa.
Actually, a random fun fact, but I remember when I lived in Denmark, Denmark has one of the highest divorce rates in the world because it's free to divorce. You can divorce over text.
Oh.
And I remember that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm like 99%.
That's very
sure.
Nordic way of doing
things. Yeah, very
things.
Nordic, but
cold.
Obviously, every culture can be very different, and I think it's honestly like high school sweethearts, and you start dating at 16 or whatever. That is, people do have successful relationships, and of course other things end, and I think that's also such a anxiety around a relationship in general, even with your friendships or familiar relationships, because it's like nothing is forever,
Yeah.
Even
and
like,
also,
in the sense of like you could be in a relationship and your partner dies, and it's not because you broke up, but like it's horrible to think. But
and having to start over is like, I know a lot of people that would be like, if this ends, I'm not dating again,
yeah, but life goes on.
And also people don't want to have babies anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Because of the girl with the list. You know her? No. She's a girl who has a list of all the reasons why you shouldn't have babies, like the terrible, like giving birth stories and stuff like this. And I feel like, there's a lot of studies about it, but now people don't make babies anymore, and they're more.
I think our population is falling. From the last thing I read.
In France, apparently, it's a really big problem.
Yeah.
And we don't want to have babies anymore. I do want to have babies. It's very recent. Very recent.
I think there's always a moment. For example, I absolutely could not have children right now, but I think I'm too young for that,
I don't think I could have children right now because I want to be in a very good financial situation. But it's funny because I didn't want babies, I didn't want to get married, and it got triggered by a person in particular, and now I do want some.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm like, is that my choice, or is that just because I love this person so much I just want babies? I don't know.
I think it's joys of life. I definitely grew up like idolizing and dreaming of like getting married and having babies. Like that's something that I always like dreamt of from a young age.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like, no. And I was like, I want to travel and be the rich aunt and like have yachts. That was when I was a kid. I was like, I want a yacht. That was my thing.
Yeah. Well, but I think at the end of the day, like with the whole dating situation, I think it's a good way to learn more about yourself and learn more about what kind of partner you want to have, and perhaps why you're attracting non-committal people. And I think dating is also a really fun tool to figure out what it is that you genuinely want in a person. Yeah,
I feel like it's
I had a list. I had a list of all the qualities which were important for me.
That's good.
Like that I wrote down. I remember actively writing them down. I was on an airplane and like a weird situationship, and I was like so over, like this is disgusting, or not disgusting, but just like ew.
No.
And writing down all the qualities of a person that were super important to me. And then literally when I met my partner, I was like, you are the list.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I think it's a good way to also kind of get your head straight of like what you're willing to put up with and what you're not.
Yeah.
But you will find your partner.
You will.
Maybe it takes time. Maybe you'll find him when you're 40.
Don't be blinded by beauty and muscles, please.
Yeah, no, that's not about everything. We think we need the brain.
Don't do it. Been there, done that. Don't do it.
It's a waste of your time. But thank you, Nani, for joining. Do you have any last words you want to say?
Put yourself first. Don't be blinded by beauty. and take care of yourself and your friends. They will tell you if you have a wrong partner. They will always know.
That's
Your
another
friends
thing.
will
I
always
think your friends
know.
and your family always know.
They always know. I don't want to, whatever their like dating, history is, your friends that know you since like a very long time, they know. Like every time I had someone and they were like, like
It never worked out.
it never worked out. And so every single one of my situations or interests have to go through trial with my friends.
I love that. I support.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Thank
and
you.
enjoying our modern dating take.
Yeah, I'm so happy we did this.
Me too, finally. Thank you for listening.